Cece goes in the throne room, I would imagine she has a lot to tell you. Remind us of what our Father shares with her. We're one of His. We belong to Him, and He loves us. You are loved, you know. You're loved. I'll shut this off for the time being, because sometimes my Apple does its own thing. You know, whatever you call God, the Creator, the universe, the Most High, whomever you call, or however you call, you know, just know that He's forever, she's forever. The oneness is forever declaring love. I love you. I love you, Christina. That's what the universe says. I love you, Miss Norma. That's what the universe says. That's what God and Creator's whispering to us all the time. In every breath that we take and exhale, God is saying, I love you, Mary. I love you, Virginia. Arabella, God says, I love you. You're loved. And like I said earlier, I want you. Noel, he loves Noel. He loves Nikki, he loves Noel. He loves, tell me, who are you? You're Sanji, he loves Sanji. Look at the person next to you. You know their name. Remind them that God says, I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
Smoky
I love
Quartz.
you.
Smoky
What's
Quartz.
your name again? Mo, God says he loves you. And your wife, what's your name? Death.
What's your name, Jean? I love you,
I'm Jean.
I love you.
Yeah, you know, I'm scared to leave the house without hearing him say that to me. I am scared because, you know, it's craziness out here sometimes.
Yeah,
So I have to know I'm equipped with that love and power before I leave the door. I have a mirror by my door, and as I walk out, I look at me, and I just envision my Father saying, I love you, girl. You go get him. So that's your go get him today. He loves us. You're not going to, and remember, I said you're going to need that sometime in this message. Because today the subject is fear. Fear. I'm sorry. I'm going to scare y'all a little bit. Shake you up. And you know, it's fear, in my humble opinion, and I can have one, I guess, if I want to. In my humble opinion, I believe that fear is actually the opposite of love. You know, some people say it's hate. Personally, I think that hate is like a byproduct of fear. But I think fear is an opposite of love. So you're love. So no fear. My topic today is not fear, but love, power, and a sound mind. What do you fear? What do you fear? What scares you?
Worms.
Okay, what scares you? What frightens you? What or who scare you, frighten you, make you afraid? Is it a somebody or something? Are you afraid of flying? Are you afraid of getting on that cruise ship? Everybody's trying to get you on that cruise ship. Take that once-in-a-lifetime vacation, and you just can't get on that because there's too much water to try to drink. Are you scared of spiders? Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. Are you afraid of losing everything that you have? Or losing your love, someone that you love dearly, that you're tied to the hip with? Are you afraid of that job, losing that job? What are you afraid of? Roaches. Are you afraid of roaches? Huh?
Yes.
Are you afraid of Monday morning and just remembering that, I'm not retired, I got to go to work? Are you afraid? There is just, thinking about those things that scare you, frighten you, did you kind of feel a little bit uneasy? Were you feeling a little, just thinking about it? Did you get kind of squirmy and you're not in your stomach and maybe your heart beat a little faster and you had to catch your breath? And did you feel it? That's fear. That's fear. That's what fear feels like. Maybe we're not going to conjure it up. I don't want to conjure it up too much today. But just in case we got along and it pops in your head and you got to remember you are what?
Loved.
You're loved. So nothing to worry about here. No anxiety here today. So that's what it feels like to fear. That's how it feels. How many times have you said or heard somebody tell you or heard somebody just say, don't be afraid. Be brave. You're fearless. Be brave. You don't have to be afraid of anything. Come on. It's going to be okay. It's all in your mind. It's just, don't be afraid. How many times have you heard that? Does it make you feel better? No. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It's quite who says it. Well, when you hear it, when you hear that there's nothing to be afraid of, it really probably isn't. But I wouldn't go and open all the cage doors at the zoo. And I wouldn't go to bed and, you just notice that the house is on fire. I wouldn't go to bed. No, I wouldn't do that. But you are and you can be fearless. You can be brave. But let me just kind of share a little bit something with you. Being brave and being fearless does not mean you got rid of the fear. Not going to get rid of the fear. I'll tell you why in a little bit, but it's not getting rid of the fear. Fearless and being brave means in spite of the fear. And sometimes because of the fear, you got to do what you got to do. So we're going to look at that today. We're going to look at, can I really open that cage door at the zoo? Because, he's such a cute little fuzzy little guy. I just want to go there and pet that bear. Or should I? Think about that. So this morning, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the difference between saying you're fearless and really understanding that you can be and that you are fearless. Or somebody telling you not to be afraid. We're going to talk about you really are not afraid. Don't have to be forever afraid. So first of all, what I'm going to do, first I want to share or remind you what the true reality is about fear, the true meaning of it, the purpose of fear. And then after we kind of get that agreed upon, once I share it with you and it's agreed upon, I want to move on and talk a little bit about what fear is not. Okay? Want to kind of get rid of some of the misconceptions about fear. Some of the things that you, really, that's not, yeah. We're going to talk about some of those things that hopefully will either remind you and you'll say, oh yeah, that's right. And finally, what we're going to do is we're going to look at how we can use, or really leverage, I'm going to call it leverage fear. And use it. Use it to move past, to get to love, to use it to leverage it so that we can respond with the love and the power and the sound mind that was given to us instead of the fear that we've latched onto. All right, so that's what we're going to do. Let's get started. So the real deal about fear. Why do we need emotion? Why do we need the emotion fear? It's an emotion. It's a feeling, that feeling that you were feeling when you were thinking about whatever it was that scared you. Why do we need that? We need it. We need it. Obviously, we need it because God, the creator, universe, gave it to us. So it's a need. We need it. What do we need it for? Well, just a little background of it. Fear is, and absolutely every living organism, right down to your cells, utilize fear. Everything life utilizes fear because it is a natural instinct of survival. Right. You sense a present and clear, that's the key word, y'all, a clear and present means now, danger, and then your body kicks in, that instinct kicks in, and what happens physically with you is your body, your heart starts beating faster. You start breathing a little faster. Adrenaline is pumping. And all of this is for a reason, y'all. It ain't for, just to make you look crazy now and what am I going to do? We're looking scattered. It is pumping what you need to your legs, just in case you got to flee, or to your muscles, just in case you got to kick butt.
Fight or flight.
Right. It's for fight or flight. That's all it's for, y'all. If you are in a clear and present danger, your natural animal instinct will kick in. It happens to your dog, it happens to your cat, it happens to your bird, it happens to your fish, it happens to your cells in your body. They do their thing too when they start getting attacked by crazy diseases and stuff, colds and germs. It kicks in because it wants to survive. It don't want to die. So that's why God gave us that instinct. All right? Now, every animal has it. Everything living has it. Right down to your cells. So, what's up? We're going to get to it. I'm just going to go and say this one. We're human. We're so smart. We're human, so we go a little bit farther with our capacities and our powers and our abilities than the fish and then the bears and then the dog and the cat. They're going to instinctively to protect themselves. They ain't going to think about it. They're going to do it. We have this thing called mind. So we use mind to do what?
Logic.
To reason. And rational and be logical. But we use it to reason with. So what we do as human is that if it's a clear and present danger, trust me, it's going to kick in. But we are human, so we might think, that bear, it's just a bear. Hey, David wrestled with the bear. I'm going to try to take this bear on. That's the reasoning that some of us foolish people do. Me, I'm leaving. I'm not dealing with no bear. But some of us do that. So that's what we do as human. Hold on to that thought, y'all. Just hold on to that. Now, because we're human, we have a dictionary. So let's what the dictionary says about fear. Webster, I wrote it down here. Yeah, Webster defines fear as an unpleasant emotion that's caused by the belief that someone or something is about to mess up our good day. It's dangerous. It's going to hurt us. It's going to cause us some pain. And it's a noun. It's a noun. So it's what it is. And then if it's a verb, you got to act it. We be afraid. That's what it means. To Webster, he says it means that it's to be afraid of something as likely, another word, to be dangerous, painful, or threatening. Poor little fish. They don't have a dictionary, so they don't know that, it's just a belief. It's just a thought. We're just thinking about this. They don't know that yet. So, Wikipedia, I've got that one too. And I believe now, this is again my opinion. I believe that Wikipedia replaced World Book Encyclopedia. I do, because that was my favorite research tool in its day. So I'm telling my age, okay. Anyway, Wikipedia states that fear is a feeling induced by a perceived danger or threat that causes a change in metabolic and organ functions and ultimately change your behavior, such as fleeing, hiding, freezing from the perceived traumatic event. Likely, belief, perceived. Okay. Remember Franklin D. Roosevelt? Remember in history? Franklin Roosevelt. This is what he said about fear. The only thing to fear, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And he went on to say, nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror, which paralyzes, needed effort to convert retreat into advance. Let's get the heck out of here. So the single point in all of these human definitions is one. We have one common thread, one commonality. The dictionary cites that fear is caused by the belief. Wikipedia says it's because of something that we perceive or likely. And Roosevelt says it's nameless. It's a nameless terror. You don't even give it a name. It don't have any reason to it. It's unjustified. It paralyzes you. That's what it does. All of these, what are they? Are any of them, are they real? Are they saying it's, hey, you are really going to be kicked out, if you don't get out of the way from this? I think that's a spider over there. I think it is. So you scared of spiders? I think you better make a move. Or I'm gonna forego that trip to the Bahamas because, it's a boat and it's a lot of water and it's likely to sink if something happens. It's likely to sink. That's okay. So. That's all cool. I mean, I really like that. The common thread in each one of these definitions and understanding regarding fear is that the individual human, mind you, uses his or her mind you, to evaluate and prejudge the danger or threat before it is clearly understood to be present and ready to be a threat and a danger to you. The problem with this prejudgment is that our bodies don't always know. If it's a thought, I'm just sitting here talking to Jean, just reminded me of this, and I'm thinking about this spider, or I'm thinking about, your body reacted. It did react, right? You had those feelings. So your body doesn't know that you are maybe believing, or you got an if, and, or but about this. This, when I go to work tomorrow, my boss is going to call me in the office and fire me. We just got to, that's just, we got no proof. It's just a maybe. So what are we doing? Because our body doesn't know it. And just in case nobody told you, like your doctor, stress, anxiety, worry, fear, aka fear, can affect your health adversely. High blood pressure, diabetes. I mean, I am just rattling off a couple that I know off the top of my head. That's more. Just lowering your immune system. All of those things as a result of a belief, or maybe, or less, just in case. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all of you. Please forgive me. I love you. I did not mean to cause any anxiety when I called you to recall your fears. But I was demonstrating. And I hope I made my point. So, if we are honest with ourselves, we would have to admit that we most often are doing the thing to ourselves. We're believing ourselves into all this anxiety. We're thinking ourselves into all this fear. So how do we, and why do we? There's some reasons, and I'm thinking I might get to them later, but I'm going to go on because I don't want to run out of time. So that's some of the truth about, just a quick glance over truth about fear, what it is. Now let's look at what is not. We were not given a spirit of fear, but love, power, and a sound mind. Now, I told you that you were created with the emotion fear. Well, this is what this is what I need, fear. Well, yeah, you were created with that, but it was an emotion. It was a fear. It was a feeling. I'm sorry, it was a feeling. It was an emotion. It was not meant to be a state of being. It was not meant to be monumentalized or memorialized into a house called fear, a place called fear, a state called fear. You weren't supposed to eternally be in a fearful mood or fearful state. It's an emotion, just like being happy. You ain't eternally happy, are you? You're not happy every time, and you don't, unfortunately, you probably should. You don't kind of fret about, I got to be happy. You don't do that, do you? And when you have pain, when you hurt yourself and you feel that pain, do you just sit there with it and just watch the blood drip, drip, drip? No. You get something and you take care of it. You take care of it. You feel the pain. You wait for it to heal, and it does heal. And the pain is released. It doesn't last forever. You ain't making no boo-boo like my grandkids do. Boo-boo, grandmommy. That's a boo-boo from last week, boy. But we're not doing that. But we do have love and power and the soundness of mind. That's a state. Love is a state to be in. That's a house that you want to build and live in. You want room, fill it up with rooms, fill it up with stuff. Your power, you want to honor and respect and use it. So that's a state that you want to be. You want to always be powerful, and you want to have a sound mind. Well, that takes work, because mine won't shut up. But we do. We have the ability to quiet our minds because we did it with meditation. Yeah. Demonstration there. So we have the ability to do that. We can do that. So fear is not meant to be memorialized or to build a house with and move into. It's for a clear and present danger. Clear and present danger. It's dangerous. The house is on fire and I need to get out of it. I'm not going to go to bed and wish it away. I'm going to get out of it. So what do? I use my mind, and I let ego kind of tell me, maybe we should be prepared for a fire. So we get an alarm system. We get a smoke detector. We want to be careful when we're out and about, or when we leave the house. We want to make sure that the house is safe. And my ego's going to say, well, somebody's going to jack you up. So we make it's okay to prepare. So use your judgment, use that reasoning mind, not to obsess about the fire that may or may not happen. Buy the alarm, keep the battery in it. You don't have to stand and attend to that that smoke detector 24/7. There's a little light that blinks in mine, that blinks to let me know that it's okay. And every morning I get up and I go to the bathroom, and I can look up at it. I don't have to stay up all night and look at it. I don't have to do that. And I don't have to wear a fireproof jumpsuit around all the time because I might be dashing into a fire at any moment. I don't have to do that. But I can be prepared. I can have everything ready just in case. And I can rest and be assured that my preparation is there if I need it. I'm not Chicken Little that's running around saying the sky is falling. I don't have to do that. The sky's falling, y'all. The sky's falling. No, I don't have to do that. I'm ready just in case the sky falls. But if it's a sky, y'all, if it's a sky, everything that we got prepared is no good. No. But I think you're getting my point. You're getting my point. So we know that, first of all, fear is, what is it? It's an emotion. And it's a feeling. And like a feeling, they come and they go. We don't ask them to move in with us. We don't say depression and heartache and disappointment. Make your home here. So why you going to build a house called fear? We're going to stop doing it. We realize that we do that. Sometimes we don't, but when we catch ourselves doing that, we're going to stop ourselves from doing that, aren't we? Because we recognize now that we trust that we prepared what we needed in the event. And I'm going to tell you something about ego and mind. Everything that you're reasoning up here with mind and ego, it is only something that has happened in the past. Mind has no passes to the future. So everything mind tells you that might happen or if happen or could happen is something that's already happened, and they're just reasoning that it could happen again, maybe. But they didn't go in tomorrow or next week to see that. But guess who does and guess who can? God and your intuition and your spirit. Connect to that. Obsess with that part of you. You know? Let mind do what mind does. Mind, you can reason, but you are in charge. Mind don't own nothing. You own mind. You can listen to mine and you can say, you know what? I am not getting out of this bed to go check that alarm. Because I know when I went to bed 10 minutes ago, the light was blinking. I'm not. And I set the alarm when I went to bed, so shut up. I'm going to sleep. You have to tell mind sometimes. You have to take control of mind. Because mind is like a runaway train. Yeah. And when mind gets to be an ego, gets to be their thing, doing their thing, you'll be doing all kind of craziness. Before you catch it, if I see you doing something crazy, I say, are you listening to ego again? Okay, so what do we do now that we understand that fear is a feeling, and it's to keep us surviving and alive and well and out of danger and out of harm's way. And once we realize that we are and we're prepared and ready for whatever, we can go on with our life. So we know that. And we know, too, that we can use our mind to reason things out and be prepared in case. So we know that. So now that we know that, how do we use what we know so we understand? That's far. To, be that brave, fearless person that you were meant to be, that you are, whether you know it or not. What can we do? How do we leverage fear? Because whether you want to admit it to me or not, I'm not even going to ask you, but I will admit to you, I will confess to my beloved friends that I live sometimes in fear, that state called fear, before I catch myself. I worry. I get anxious. I was in my favorite store, Goodwill, a few weeks ago, and I was happily shopping, and buying something special, and all of a sudden, ego and mind started having a conversation, and I was getting dizzy, and I started listening. I tuned in, and I'm listening, and oh my goodness, I literally had to leave the store. I got so scared. I was listening to that conversation, and I honestly got scared, and I was like, and I don't have anxiety attacks. I usually say, I can make it through this. I'm going to finish the shopping because I got to buy this. I just had to leave my cart in the store. So it happens. So whether you admit it or not, you have a place called fear that you either live there a lot of the time, or you use it for a summer home, or use it for holidays, for Christmas or whatever, You have it. So what are we going to do about it? I'm going to tell you what I would suggest you do. Tear that sucker down. Blow it up. Demo it. We can carry the state, and we can live in that state like it's a house with foggy windows or dirty windows. So how do we move out of it? Well, we move out of it, and we move into love. And we move into power. And we move into sound mindedness. And it sounds easy, huh? It is. It is easy. It's easy because I just gave you some information that will equip you when you have that understanding, that awareness that, oh my goodness, I'm fearing. I'm afraid. But I don't have to be afraid because I've prepared. Or I don't have to be afraid because what is ego now? You know? Let me go meditate a little bit. Let me calm myself down enough that I can talk to my maker and see what's going on here. I should have done that in Goodwill because that was a goodbye. Anyway, we can prepare ourselves. We can prepare through preparation, through acknowledging that we know what fear is all about. We are prepared. The third thing that we can do is that we can allow the love and the power and the sound mind. Well, first of all, we can allow love to govern and rule our responses rather than the fear that ego and mind has created for you. We can resort to the love of our maker and our master and our God and trust him. Lord, I've got everything prepared. I've done everything that I was supposed to do. I don't know where this fear is coming from. You know, Master will probably calm you down because Master loves you. So you equip with that. So you can allow love to rule and govern your actions rather than reacting through fear, with fear. Your mantra, and it can be a mantra. I am not given a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power, but of love and power and a sound mind. And I was going to tell you that mantra. That was my daughter's mantra when she was in school. She would have a Bible verse that we all did have a little Bible verse that we liked, and I don't know where she got this one from. She may have heard me say it some point in time. And she would, when driving her back and forth to school every day, we would read the Proverbs, and one or the other of us would pray on the way to school. And her prayer was always ended with, God has not given me a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. She was doing that from the age of about 8 until she started driving herself to school. Hopefully she did it on the way to them. But I heard her say that year in, year out, day after day. And it was a mantra, and I realized that it was a mantra for her. And she is a very strong and powerfully and loving woman today. She's 24 now and has some sons. But she's a very powerful and confident woman. And sometimes she's human. So sometimes she gets scared. Sometimes she gets frightened. She calls Mama. God, then I send her that way. But I remind her of that. You don't have a spirit of fear, baby. What did you used to say? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So it is a powerful mantra. So finally, we can tame our minds, and we can assume love being our directive and our governors, and we can be prepared, and we can move out of the house called fear. Move out. Leave it. Move. Move today. Don't give them a notice. Just get up and leave. Yeah. You're evicted. I'll evict you. And don't take anything with you, by the way. Because anything in that dark house is not worth taking. Because as soon as you walk out the door and the sun hits your face and you blink and you clear your eyes, you're going to find love, and you're going to find the power, and you're going to find the soundness of mind that was there for you. Because God hasn't given you a spirit of fear, but a spirit of love, power, and a sound mind. I love you.